Last match of the night is in the 165 weight class as Penn State has number 1 David Taylor versus number 6 Robert Kokesh of Nebraska, the redshirt freshman from Wagner, South Dakota. Taylor's a sophomore from St. Paris, Ohio, and he
undefeated so far this season. In fact, only one loss in his career. He's 57-1 in his career. So this will be a tough matchup for Robert Kokesh,
who is 22-3 himself on the year, 14-1 in duels.
However, if you look at Taylor's matchups, the highest ranked wrestlers he has faced is number 6 Mike Evans of Iowa. So really Kokesh, one of the highest rated wrestlers he'll face all season. So
Kokesh also owns the most pins for the Huskers on the season with 7.
Don't rule him out.
As we see, no points here going on. This is the last match of the night. Nebraska simply playing for pride here in this last one. They've lost the duel already.
But really, Nebraska, in these last few matches, they got a couple wins and a couple near wins, and really they have a lot to build on from this duel going into Sunday. They'll face another tough team in Minnesota. It'll be a tough matchup for them, but if they could keep building heading into postseason play, Nebraska wrestlers will be tough in postseason play. As Penn State, you got to think they're right where they want to be right now. They are number 2 in the country and just dominating programs. Haven't lost since back in
the second match of the season.
Yeah, and so Penn State just dominating teams so far, and a couple of number 1 ranked wrestlers, a couple number 2 ranked wrestlers, and you got to imagine they'll be moving up in rankings after tonight as well.
Can't go much further up though. Well, the wrestlers can, but not the team in general. The number 2, number 1 in many polls, as we get a reversal there for Taylor, the number 1 ranked wrestler at the 165 weight class. This will be the 9th consecutive dual win for Penn State.
We got 23 seconds left to go in this first period as Taylor technically is a junior, but redshirted his first year, so he's sophomore eligible.
He's just a tough physical guy. You see there, by the way, he's just wrapping his arms around Robert Kokesh. He's a tough physical wrestler as he brings him down out of bounds. No points awarded.
All-American.
Back to the center.
He finished second last year. His only loss of his career, second in the national championship for his weight division as a redshirt freshman.
That ends the first period. As we go back to the replay here, you can see the nice
takedown.
Reversal there and takedown by Taylor to get the 2 points.
Those are the 2 points so far in this matchup. Taylor leads 2-0.
And Taylor does a nice move there out of the starting formation. No points awarded, but he's got Kokesh where he wants him. Trying to get that leg so he can make a move with it. Now he's got the right arm too. Problem is that he's on the bottom. You can't get a pin when you're on the bottom.
These wrestlers really different than the last matchup between Alton and Green. We saw as Alton and Green spent the majority of time in a standing position, it seemed like, through that matchup. These wrestlers both on the mat most of the time, as we do get an escape from Kokesh, and now it's 2-1.
Saving the best matchup for the last possibly here as points there on back points for David Taylor. 6-1 he leads now. We got a takedown and back points. So all of a sudden a 6-1 lead.
Kokesh did a good job though getting off of his back there. He was in a precarious position where he could have gotten pinned pretty easily by Taylor, and good job moving out of it.
Just 42 seconds to go here in this second period of play.
Both wrestlers tumbling for position there. Well, we get an escape for Kokesh, and now 6-2. 28 seconds left to go here in the second period, so Kokesh staying alive. He trails by 4 points. Nebraska, for most of the matchups tonight, as we do see a takedown, has been the underdogs in the matchups. However, when they were favored, or they did have ranked opponents against unranked opponents, they did win both of those matchups. However, the rest of them, they were underdogs.
That ends the second period. You can always hear from BTN personalities, get programming information, and so much more. Follow the BTN on Twitter and on Facebook today.
So really, if you go by, the favorites have always won so far tonight here as the matchups by ranking, and this is really how it should have gone. However, you look at Nebraska was a lot closer in some of those matchups and could have taken some points away from Penn State, making it a much closer duel, but they didn't give up any upsets, but they didn't score any upsets themselves. So it depends on how you look at it, how you want to take away from this duel, and how you want to build momentum if you're Coach Manning.
Yeah, we're really seeing a team in Penn State taking the following of Caleb Sanderson, their leader, who was such a good wrestler in college. His first year here, he had a 13-6-1 record with the Nittany Lions, and now we can see number 2 in the nation, number 1 by many polls. He is just a great recruiter. Why would you not want to wrestle for Caleb Sanderson, one of the best of all time?
I mean, he's done some great jobs for Penn State. Of course, Sanderson coming out of Iowa State as a wrestler, and I mean, you just watching him across from us on the bench, and I mean, he just sits there with an intensity that just, I mean, if you're a wrestler, you want to fight for him. Another 2 points for Taylor as he now leads 12-2.
Should be noted that Caleb Sanderson graduated from Iowa State. He also coached there for 3 years before he moved to Penn State. So interesting to see he left his alma mater to coach a different school.
Well, and you see he's taken a program really to the top of the national level, as Penn State is as good as they get, and he's coaching a number of the best wrestlers in the country.
As we see 12-3, this match nearing its end, 28 seconds to go. David Taylor will win another match. He will stay undefeated and move to 20-0 on the season. Is just fighting to the end as Robert Kokesh, the redshirt freshman. Good experience for him to go against a good wrestler, number 1 overall in David Taylor, but tough for him to take a loss like this.
Well, and he's young wrestler. He's just going to learn from here and grow and get better from this moment on.
So that will be the final there as David Taylor defeats Robert Kokesh 12-3, and Penn State wins the match 31-6. So the number 7